what I did here was, whew, there's some snow. What I did was I stomped down, kicked around some snow and stomped it down and got a good flat area there so that we can have a place to set the Jetboil. Now what I wanted to do was show you basically how this Jetboil works. It's probably the best stove on the market for short-term stuff, even long-term, but it's a little heavy. You know, you can do an alcohol stove and weigh in at 1/4 of a pound and have enough to do a weekend, but this is so much nicer. So basically it's got the cup and everything built into it. Here's the bottom. You can see it has a heat exchange, and that makes this super efficient. I mean, just tremendously efficient. So it's pretty nice. Basically what you do is you keep everything inside, which is extremely handy. Here's the stove part itself, and what it does is it will fit down onto the canister. Everything nests inside itself, which is great. Canister, which is a butane and propane mixture, which allow it to work better in the cold, and it screws right onto the base. And then this is a stabilizer, which will then hook onto the bottom of the canister and gives you a lot of stability. Now, here's the neat thing, or one of the neat things I should say. This fastens on to the stove, so it becomes a single unit, and that's great. To light the Jetboil, it's extremely easy. It has its own piezo, you know, its own starter. I'll come down here where you can see. The piezo is right here. That makes the spark. So basically all you have to do is open it up, and it lights that quick. Then you adjust your flame, hell, I can even hold this and it doesn't bother me. Okay, it's gotten cold. Wind's picked up, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a small fire. And it's lit. So, we've seen how the Jetboil works. We've seen how the cotton ball is soaked in Vaseline. Littlest spark, and boom, nice fire. Even when it's cold and wet, you can get a fire going easily. Look out, you know, search for a good place. I knew this was a good windbreak. The fact that it's pine, I knew if I wanted to start a fire it would be fairly easy because of the pitch in the pine. This is just a small cooler, like a giveaway cooler you get just from anywhere. And because I have had a couple of allergic reactions of unknown origin, haven't been able to figure out what causes them, I always carry an EpiPen with me. The problem is that the EpiPen has to, and the inhaler has to be kept above freezing. So if you're out 3 or 4 days, or even like today when it's really cold, how in the world do you do that? Well, it's kind of easy. I also keep the video batteries in here as well. What I do is I drop a couple of hand warmers, just regular hand warmers down in here, and it keeps this stuff just toasty, absolutely toasty. So you know, the hand warmers are good for, I don't know, 6-8 hours. You can even get the bigger ones, which are good for 18 hours. The other nice thing about it is, if you need to warm up quick, you already have some activated hand warmers that are ready to go. Slip them down inside your shirt, you know, and get that core body temp back up pretty quick. So this is just food for thought. All right, here we are. As you can see, it's still daylight. Made it back to the house. Hour, probably about close to an hour. So it's probably, well, it wasn't an hour, hell, probably 45 minutes. So it's probably mile and a quarter back to the house. But anyway, beautiful day. We don't get this opportunity much here in southern Indiana, and it sure is beautiful.